Okay. Game 2 of the series. Here we go. Barton versus Cheese. Apparently Cheese will half construct a tier 1 in his base. That's an interesting opening. Okay. Goes back to completed. We're going to see Cheese. The factions are switched. 476 victory point victory for Barton in game 1. Cheese is going to have to top that in game 2 if he wants faction selection. In an ace game, should it occur. Barton has chosen Breakthrough over Commando West. And an early Kuba wagon heading left. Interesting choice by Barton. I'm curious to see if he can make it work. Barton has a tendency, right, to go over Commando West. He seems to like OKW better than Oster. See if he can make it work. To be fair, he is up against Cheese's defensive tactics, which it doesn't have guards and it doesn't have T-3485s, but it does have those mines that are oddly cost-effective, and against Over Commando West, which has an extremely expensive minesweeper. Expensive and ineffective. They are pretty OP, so he's probably going to be spamming those pretty hard and making harassment attempts by Barton very difficult. We'll see what happens. Kuba wagon just defending the left side initially here. We're going to see a 2 conscript opening and tier 1 from Cheese. 3rd conscript in production now. He's probably going to go N3. Tier 1 will definitely help him against this Kuba. Barton will probably want to throw down a mine of his own if he can get the munitions together, which he will be able to pretty soon, probably before he has to deal with an M3.
Volksgrenadier, ready for action. Target secure. Ready.
Conscripts inside of this building. Provide vision of the SWS a little bit right there. German Pioneers going to pull up towards the back a little bit. Kuba wagon moves into close range and forces 1 retreat. So 1 retreat forced by Barton right there. Kuba wagon will be able to continue contending against more conscripts. Should probably not get too close if he can avoid it. Doesn't go very well for him. Cut-off attempt here in the back. Volksgrenadiers moving to try to help. And Kuba wagon repositioning way back to try and help against this squad of conscripts. More Volksgrenadiers on their way. I don't know. I can't tell if the Kuba wagon will be able to suppress them or not. He's not going to risk it because he's falling dangerously low. Oh, and it goes down! 2 of the squad moving up from the south. Kuba wagon destroyed, which means that now Barton doesn't really have any suppression source. He has no way to shut down conscripts. So,
Officer, ready to be deployed.
that squad of Volksgrenadiers has to retreat right there. This one trying to engage at point blank range. The M3 wasn't even necessary to kill that Kuba wagon, so now it's going to be free and clear to just drive flamethrowers around and try and pick up early wipes. Over here on the left side, conscripts getting control of the strategic point, and these squads are reinforcing here in the base. That's 4 conscripts chosen now before transitioning probably into the heavy mortar would be my guess. SWS has not found an opportunity to set up anywhere, and as breakthrough, by the way, Barton will not have access to the MG34 either, so he's just going to have to try to defeat his opponent's infantry with more infantry of his own, since his Kuba wagon went down so quickly, putting him at a severe early disadvantage. Conscripts heading right to take control of this point, and flamethrowers jumping into the M3 over here on the right side. Conscripts throwing up a green cover sandbag position on the victory point. Still no tech structure. Barton probably doesn't quite feel comfortable throwing it up yet. Mine going down on this flanking route. Could be a good mine. Rakettenwerfer on the field as well to protect himself against this, which has not really made a move to do much of anything, and now it's a little late with the Rakettenwerfer already on the field. It may not have many opportunities. Conscript squad forced away from the fuel over here. Two squads of Volksgrenadiers will continue left to try to get this fuel under control. That mine is perfect for this. Oh no. And there it goes. M3 hits the mine. Nicely done by Barton. Very nicely placed mine. Volksgrenadiers will have to reposition to safety. Stern Pioneers charging into close range should be able to win this engagement against these conscripts, and once he forces this full retreat, he should be able to transition into his first tech structure or whatever he chooses to do. I'm guessing tier 2 based on where this is, but tier 3 would also make sense. I don't know. We'll see what he decides. Kind of a late retreat on those conscripts. They will be retreating through Stern Pioneers at point blank. That could be a wipe. Maybe. Oh, so close. So close. Will they really get away? Yes, they will. Wow. For a second, I thought losing that Kuba wagon maybe it wasn't going to be that big of a deal, but apparently it is. Throwing anti-personnel mines down here on the cutoff while he has a brief opportunity. I think he got like one down. Panzer Fusiliers making their way onto the field, and still no tech structure for Barton, who can't seem to get control of his cutoff. Making things rather difficult. Squad gets away narrowly right there. Volksgrenadiers or Fusiliers will get control of the cutoff back. Barton still hasn't teched. 7 minutes in, it's starting to get to be pretty late. Stern Pioneers will upgrade with the Minesweeper and get these two anti-personnel mines cleared. Volksgrenadiers will move to assist in the engagement for the left side, where more mines are being spammed, making it even more difficult and annoying for Barton to deal with. Over here, conscripts take control of this building to maintain vision of this area and make sure Barton doesn't make any harassment attempts for the left side. A couple squads need to make their way back out of the base, and another big push is coming to try and take control of Barton's cutoff, which again, he can't do anything about this without suppression. There's just 3 squads of conscripts walking right into his cutoff, and he can't even counter that without a machine gun, without his Kuba wagon being dead, without flak half-track. It makes it very difficult to punish this kind of select my whole army and walk to your cutoff, and there's not really anything that Barton can do about it, unfortunately. Volksgrenadiers moving up here. We'll start trying to engage against those conscripts from range. Kettenwerfer's in a little bit of danger, may want to retreat. That Stern Pioneer squad is just going to have to retreat, because if they get focus fired down, it could be extremely bad. Fusiliers have no cover because of these flanking conscripts. And a flamethrower just got upgraded on that. Combat Engineer squad, Barton needs to spread out on this engagement on the right side or he will probably lose it. It looks like Barton is doing kind of okay on this engagement for the right. Fusiliers not having yellow cover weakens him in this engagement though. He should have vaulted the fence at some point. More Volksgrenadiers arrive to support. Fusiliers have to retreat. Fresh Fusiliers deployed. Both Volksgrenadier squads have to retreat from the flamethrower. And Barton will actually maintain control of his cutoff, but he loses control of his fuel during this, which means he has almost no territory, but at least he has a victory point to stall for time. And there are no call-ins coming, so that's something. But Tier 3 is in production here for cheese, and once that's done, there's going to be T-70s hitting the field, and it's just going to get even more difficult for Barton to hold on to even these tiny scraps of territory.
Incoming fire! Check equipment. Confirm mine detector is working. We stand at 300 points.
These two squads retreat into the base for healing and reinforcement. Panzer Fusiliers making their way to the front line to engage against these conscripts, taking control of this fuel point. These conscripts moving to take control of the left side strategic point right there, and a lot of squads are moving to re-engage despite not having fully healed or reinforced, which is going to make this a pretty weak push. By the way, 9-minute tech from Barton. He's probably just going to go straight to Jagdpanzer to try. He's had no fuel at all this game, so he's going to need to try to survive on a Jagdpanzer, which could prove difficult. His decision to skip flak half-track has really just made it terribly difficult for him to hold any map control, and the loss of his Kuba wagon has made it difficult to have any map control. It's very important not to lose your Kuba wagon, and I almost feel like maybe you should have just replaced it. I don't know. It's very costly to replace, though, when you're already trying to spend all the manpower you can on a very big infantry corps so that you have a chance against just conscript and flamethrower spam. No G43s out yet. Folks Grenadiers are going to throw up some green cover so they can try to defend this cutoff. This Folks Grenadier squad will salvage the M3 to get them a little bit closer to Jagdpanzer IV, and anti-personnel mines are going to get planted over here on the fuel point, making it difficult for Barton to harass. A couple squads here in the base healing, getting ready for their next push out to the battlefield, and I think Barton thinks he's going to lose this game and is now going to run straight for victory points to try and get faction selection in Game 3. If he can get a triple cap going, if he can get a triple cap going, then he might actually get faction selection. He only needs to bring Cheese down under 476 victory points, and that's a very real possibility, which the T-70 is moving to counter now. This Panzer Fusilier squad has to retreat from a flamethrower. It looks like the clock's never going to tick against Cheese here. Nice attempt by Barton, though. All squads will be pushed back into the base, and the T-70 has a pretty good chance of wiping these Folks Grenadiers with this next shot, and they will get wiped. At least there's some green cover right here to allow Barton to engage cost effectively against any harassment attempts for his cutoff, but the T-70 is a problem to which he doesn't have a very good solution, just a Rakettenwerfer, and he's still very far from a Jagdpanzer.
Group back to full strength. Enemy infantry!
Rakettenwerfer is set up pretty well for this. T-70 gets clear of the arc of fire. Panzer Fusiliers will have access to engine damage on that T-70 though, so this very aggressive push might get punished, depending on how long it takes for it to kill that Rakettenwerfer. And it's already dead. Queuing up a new Rakettenwerfer now. T-70 pulling back for some repairs. I think self-repair can fully repair the damage from a anti-tank grenade. Cannot fully repair the damage from a Panzerfaust, but I'm pretty sure the AT grenade, I mean, he doesn't have to, he's got combat engineers right there, but I'm pretty sure that's an option. That squad will be forced to retreat right there. Uh-oh, Paul's here. Paul's here. Okay, there's the first anti-personnel mine cluster getting detonated. Folks Grenadiers will be forced to retreat. Those mines are just so ridiculous. I just don't understand how they can be so cheap and so effective. T-70 wipes another Folks Grenadier squad, and it doesn't look like there's going to be anything Barton can do to win this game or even get faction selection despite a very strong victory in Game 1. His Jagdpanzer doesn't look like it's even going to hit the field. So, wow! That rocket just went through the building. Rocket went through the building, hit the T-70, which looks like it's going to have to pull back for repairs. I don't know. I hesitate to call the game too early. But being triple capped for this long really hurts, and it just doesn't look like there's anything you can do to turn the situation around. There's a Dushka on the field with access to green cover over here. A squad of conscripts. These mines, like, look at how shitty that minesweeper is. The minesweeper is standing right there. It's right there, and Panzer Fusiliers still got wrecked. That's so dumb. Why is the OKW minesweeper such garbage? I don't understand that. Rakettenwerfer gets cleared by a T-70 attacking it from the front. Stern Pioneers will make an attempt at reap through. Rakettenwerfer turning, might get the shot off. Fire! Oh, T-70 barely gets clear. Ah. Sometimes I feel like Relic will tone down things that are overpowered. They are overpowered and they need to be toned down, but they don't buff the things that the faction needs in return. And then the faction is just like, oh, I can't do anything. This would have been a great patch to buff that minesweeper. That minesweeper has always been terrible. Now I don't even... It's just so bad. Well, there it is. Barton cannot win this game. Because... just getting completely smashed. has no territory. Cheese will take game 2 and will have faction selection going into game 3.